Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back once again. Today's going to be somewhat of a short video because what I'm going to be talking about isn't really filled with a bunch of different details and options and crazy things like that. What we're going to be talking about is carrying in non-permissive environments. And the subject of today's video will be from the Necromaker. And you can visit him on Instagram at the Necromaker. I think there's periods in between each of the words. But there are times in all of our lives as EDC people where we go into places where we can't bring something like this. Or we can't bring something like this. And unfortunately, yes, places where we can't carry something like this. And that may be a sporting event, it may be a bar, it could be any number of things. The first thing I want to get out right at the beginning of the video is, I am not an attorney, I am not a law enforcement officer, I am not here to interpret the law or to teach you the law or to encourage you to break any laws whatsoever. Let's look at a non-permissive environment as maybe it's a workplace. Maybe you work in an office. It would not be against the law for you to carry a weapon in there, but it's against company policy. So maybe you'd lose your job or get a written reprimand or something like that. So let's stay away from laws and let's just talk about areas that may be a bit of a gray area where you can or cannot carry a self-defensive tool or self-defensive weapon. And that's where the Necromaker comes in quite handily, actually. Now, these are not going to be EDC items that you're going to use every day to do cutting tasks and cut down cardboard boxes and cut straps off of shipments. It's not going to be your number one choice to go to war with or to defend your life with. It really is a last-ditch, oh shit, I can't carry anything, and maybe I am physically outmatched and duking it out with my fists is not going to save my life. And that's where something like these come in very, very handy. So let's picture you're working in an office environment, and even the pocket clip of your favorite folding knife sticking out of your pocket may just be too much of a signal that you're carrying something that's against company policy. Whereas if you're carrying a pen or a marker, it's not really going to attract any attention, especially when these look identical to these branded markers. But what you have inside is something quite a bit different, even though when you first look at it, you still think, well, that's just a blue tip. That's going to be the Sharpie. It's actually not. This is a very, very sharp G10 instrument. And my camera does not want to focus on the tip, unfortunately. There we go. So what you've got here is something that's very good for piercing, very good for attitude adjusting. That goes into someone's temple or into their carotid or any other number of places. It is going to change their outlook on you being an unarmed victim or a victim in general. And this may not be the sort of thing that you would think, well, I work in a safe office environment. I don't need to carry anything anyway. I just like to carry something. I'd like to be able to carry my pocket knives or something like that. I'm just not allowed to. And it doesn't really kill me because, well, I'm working in a safe office environment. There are two things that you need to consider. One, you're not always in that office environment. You're walking back and forth to your vehicle, which is an area where you may become a victim. You also may be going off-site for meetings or for training or for lunch. My goodness, how many times do you want to sit down and eat your bologna and cheese sandwich that your wife packed you for lunch? That's going to get old after a while. You want to drive down to, I don't know, Arby's or TGI Fridays or Hooters or wherever it is that you like to go. And there you may be in an environment where you feel you'd like to have a little bit of extra protection. But, well, you were at work all day. You don't have a weapon on you. You don't have an EDC tool on you. And honestly, keeping it in the glove box of your car while you're at work for 8 to 10 hours a day may be a security issue as well. So your option is to carry something that is very innocuous, but still will get the job done if need be. If a wild beast were to run out of the shrubbery surrounding the entryway to your office, you would have a way to fight off that hairy four-legged creature. Let's look at it that way. It weighs, I would have to say it weighs pretty much the exact same as a Sharpie. It looks just the same as a Sharpie because that is the host body for this tool. This is an actual Sharpie. It's not a reproduction. This is actually a Sharpie with the marker element removed and replaced with this stingingly sharp G10 protrusion. Now, another thing I'd like to get out of the way very quickly is the fact that this is not, and I repeat, not going to be suitable for you to try to take on an airplane or to go into any building that uses any sort of x-rays to detect any weapons. This will show up. There will be a line through the middle of that Sharpie in the x-ray machine. It will show up. It will not play off. If you put that right next to a real Sharpie marker, they are going to look dramatically different in the eyes of the x-ray and to the x-ray operator. I would highly suggest you do not try to take these into areas where it would be illegal, like on an airplane, or into a government building, or into a courthouse, anything like that. Just don't do it. You're going to end up having a real bad fucking day. Also, the Necromaker, it's important to mention that he is not the originator of this concept. I actually own one of the originals from the originator, and it was actually stainless steel for the insert. So it was very, very, very heavy. It's quite a heavy instrument, actually, in comparison to this. He has not made those for a number of years. The Necromaker has stepped in and filled that void left behind, and he's done it in a very interesting way. So you've got the Stabby and the Super Stabby. He's also doing other concepts as well that may fit in better into your lifestyle. So what I would say is go check out his Instagram. He also has a website up. Go to his Instagram, check out all the different things that he's done. He does drops all the time, open availability all the time, and he's pretty good about making announcements. Hey, next week I'm going to be offering up another batch of these, or here's a work-in-progress picture of the batch that's currently being worked on. So you kind of always know what's going on. He's a real personable dude, got a great sense of humor, pretty funny guy, and he's making something really cool, and it's affordable. I think that's very important as well. If you're worried about carrying something like this and maybe losing it, because, well, fuck, man, it's a Sharpie. How often do you lose pens and markers and pencils and things like that? Pretty often. So it's easily replaceable. If you were to use it, if it were to be used with great force and dulled or broken, it's very easily replaceable because you're not spending a shit ton of money. What you've got, though, for that little bit of an investment is a little bit of additional peace of mind. Again, this is not some MacGyver shit that's going to get you out of a hostage kidnapping situation. It is not going to be your first, second, or probably even third line of defense. This is going to be that time where you are unable physically or by some sort of arbitrary rules, you are unable to carry something that would be a better tool for preservation of life. This is that one item where you go, it is better than having nothing. So, and I tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of getting stabbed with anything, of course, but I really would hate to get hit by that. That's going to go in, it's going to leave a mark. You know, I'm not here to discuss the efficacy of this item as a weapon. Yes, you've got a big lip right there, especially the fatty one here. It gets really, really fat. I don't know how far it's going to go in. This one, this is going to go in. I don't care who you are. That is going to penetrate soft tissue. Penetrating soft tissue. Just keep that in mind. So, in my opinion, this is something worthy of having. Just in your, maybe it's going to be in your EDC Go backpack. Maybe it's going to be part of your everyday office attire sitting in your shirt pocket or clipped inside of your pants pocket, right next to your fountain pen, right next to the markers and pens that you use for work. This is going to be something that just gives you a tiny little bit of peace of mind. Hey, I've got a little oh shit backup should the need arise. It's a cool little item to have. So please do check out the Necromaker on Instagram. Shoot him a message. Say, hey, I saw the video about this. What are the options? You know, what kind of different things do you suggest? And he'll walk you right through it. And if you're like, hey, man, I want mine to look like rainbow Skittles and shit like that. I mean, he has to work within the confines of what these markers are, but, you know, obviously Sharpies are available in a variety of different colors. And if you're like, hey, I want black to be the, you know, the most blend-in worthy item that I can get in my EDC loadout, then he'll make you a black one, whatever the case may be. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm just going to sit here and ramble on. I think it's a really cool idea. It's not going to be for everyone, although I think everyone could use it just to kind of have it as a backup. You'll probably never need it, obviously. It's a very small investment and easy to come by and easy to replace. So for me, I like that as an EDC tool. It's there if I need it, probably never will, and it'll do the job to the extent of the expectations that I have in this realistic scenario. So that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you on the next video.